Now, city crews are hard at work cleaning up the section of Spring Creek between Pikes Peak Avenue and Airport Road on the southeast side of the city. The 19 acres of open space overrun with invasive species that destroy the native trees and plants along the creek bed. City crews have been clearing all that out on top of picking up about 80 tons of trash, trying to return Spring Creek to a more native, natural area.
It used to be a bird sanctuary. I don't know if a lot of people remember that, but kind of a beautiful area that had natural habitat. And over the years, we've had a lot of invasive species type vegetation that's, kind of made its way in there, really, taken over. And it's really limited our ability in the past to maintain it and keep up that natural habitat.
And the first phase of the restoration project could be done next month. Let's take a live look outside in Colorado Springs this afternoon. It was a nice sunny day out there. I got out to enjoy some of it, but we are on weather alert. It was windy. There are high winds. We have another winter storm moving to the area. Let's get details from lead forecaster Mike Daniels.
Hey, Elizabeth, and on top of that, a red flag warning active for very high fire danger from Colorado Springs, Pueblo to Walsenburg, back into Fremont County. That red flag warning active until 6 o'clock. Stay away from anything that could possibly spark a fire with the winds, the dry fuels, and low humidity. If a fire should start, it could burn out of control very quickly. Take a look at how warm. We've got 50s, 60s, and even 70s right now out across parts of the lower Arkansas River Valley. Cold front on the way. There it is between Colorado and Wyoming. 28 in Casper, 60 right now in Colorado Springs. That front will move through here a little later this evening. So I've got freezing drizzle, fog, and flurries in your forecast early tomorrow morning. Could be dangerous travel across parts of the viewing area tomorrow morning, and then dangerous travel again Thursday morning. Going to see a healthy shot of snow roll in here late tomorrow, continue through Thursday morning. More on that coming up with First Alert 5.
Mike, thank you. In our school watch, the pandemic has undoubtedly put a strain on students' performance, and now new research backs up that claim as more Colorado kids are not making the grade during COVID-19. Jennifer Kovaleski reports.
She's a senior at Cherokee Trail High School. Jorwin Russell's one of the lucky ones.
Personally, right now, I'm doing really good in school.
But she can't say the same for all of her friends.
Most of my peers' grades are dropping. They're having a really hard time learning material and a really hard time focusing.
Student grades during the pandemic are down in almost every district.
Why do you think grades are down across the board?
Because the kids are not doing their work and they're not engaged and they've given up.
Dr. Karen Aronian's an education expert. She's taught in New York City and at colleges across the country.
Recent information that came out of Colorado where they're looking at a 1-year loss in math. This has been very hard.
When compared to last year, records show the number of Adams County students failing more than one class has jumped by more than 35%. In Douglas County, it saw a 27% increase in the number of kids with more than one F. Meanwhile, high schoolers in Jefferson County saw a nearly 30% uptick in failing grades. Smaller districts like Littleton experienced a 62% increase in high schoolers with more than one failing grade.
When I hear that, I think that sounds about right.
Russell goes to school in the Cherry Creek School District. There, grade point averages held steady, but Fs were up. In Denver, school leaders made the decision not to give out any failing grades, leading to a slight jump in overall GPAs.
Our goal is not to make it easier by any stretch. What our goal here to do is to make sure that we recognize the challenges that our families and students are facing.
Winna McClellan with DPS says instead of giving Fs, students were awarded incompletes. Those students then had the opportunity to make up the work.
Rather than focusing just on the grade, we are focusing on how is that student learning.
You don't want to see kids failing because we're in a quarantine. At the same time, though, it's not fair for those kids that are working really hard.
She's Jorwin's mom. Keisha Russell and her daughter both believe they know exactly what has so many students failing more classes.
So I'm going to take attendance.
Trying to flip from hybrid to in-person to full remote.
Change is hard regardless of what change it is.
I'm hoping that you can handle that stuff.
Being able to adjust that